Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Ken Iverson from Kent, Washington, near Seattle, in the state of Washington, in the great Pacific Northwest. Um, I promised a couple weeks ago that I'd record a piece on the death penalty, and that's what I plan to do right now. Um, well, it was 7 or 8 years ago. My mother and I went up to Canada for a funeral. One of her brothers passed away, one of my uncles, and we went up. And one night we were at dinner with some of my cousins who wondered why we were so barbaric down here in the United States as to have the death penalty. And they quizzed me as to whether mother and I believed in that. And I said no. I don't know what my mother believes, but I said no, I don't believe in that. And they were convinced that we were barbarians down here. And I thought about that, and there's a large part of the world that has done away with the death penalty. And if a crime is committed in the United States here, and it could have the death penalty as the consequence for that crime, certain countries, Canada, I think England, France, I don't know about Germany, maybe Germany too, does not extradite those criminals back here to the United States, because what they have waiting for them is, in some cases, could be the death penalty. And I would suggest that in some parts of the world, people are much more civilized than we are. So uh, there is, the way I see it, death penalty in the United States anyway is really not a deterrent. Most crimes of passion are created in the moment, and don't carry in the mind of the perpetrator the consequences usually. If that doesn't make much sense, I'm tired. It's been a long day, so let me stop recording now and put this on YouTube. We don't. The Another thing about the death penalty is it costs more to execute someone than it does to keep them in jail or in prison for the rest of their lives. Studies have been done on this, and I don't think we would want to. It's a high cost of lawyers and trials and retrials and appeals and all of that. And you might say, well, we should execute them before they go through all the appeal process. I don't think we want to do that, do we? We don't want to be like the story that I heard somebody say, an official in Texas, which traditionally has executed more people than any other state in the United States. The story goes, it may be apocryphal, may not. The story goes that when asked about the death penalty, if they were afraid of getting it wrong some of the time. And however, in Texas, this official, the attorney general or whoever, said, well, we almost always get it right. And I submit to you, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Almost always right. It just doesn't cut it. And I'm sure the Justice Project would probably know more about that than certainly I do. And people who have been executed who later were found to be innocent, I'm sure that's happened. And how getting it almost right is just not good enough. So that's what I have to say about the death penalty today. So this is Ken Iverson in Kent, Washington, signing off for this afternoon.